Hello, everybody. Oh, here we go. Hello, everybody. Today is good afternoon. Today's January 14th, and Trump is in the middle of participating in a signing ceremony. He's got a group of people, RFK Jr. I think they're talking about farms. I'm gonna go ahead and play. He's just came on. I like to go a little bit past when he starts because I don't know if there's going to be music or if there's going to be something said that's going to get me, so I like to kind of just let it, so I can just fast forward through certain parts if need be. But here he is. So let's get it started. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Much love, everybody.
The president signed two executive actions. The first is the result of a Section 232 trade investigation.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. You see that beautiful milk? That's what we're here for. We're going to be discussing milk and whole milk and how good it is, how nourishing. And these people all come from beautiful farms, they have a wonderful life, and they're happier today than they would have been if we didn't sign this. So we'll be talking about that in a second. Will, could you read the first two items, and we're going to get going after that? We'll be talking about a couple of things. We have some news on Iran, which we're going to talk about.
So shortly before you all came in, the president signed two executive actions. The first is the result of a Section 232 trade investigation into critical minerals supplies. What it does is it sets up a mechanism, a process by which the United States will seek to secure its international supply chain of critical minerals and critical mineral derived products. The second is actually the result of another Section 232 trade investigation, this one into semiconductors. It sets up a two-phase process. Under the first phase, semiconductors that are imported into the United States of America that are not then used domestically to build out our AI or computing architecture here will be subject to a 25% tariff. So, for example, semiconductors that were transshipped through the United States to other foreign countries would be subject to that 25% tariff. But those are two executive actions that the president reviewed shortly before you all came in.
So they're going to sell chips, basically, and it's a chip. It's not the highest level, but it's a very good level. And China wants them, and other people want them, and we're going to be making 25% on the sale of those chips, basically. So we're allowing them to do it, but the United States is getting 25% of the chips in terms of the dollar value, and I think it's a very good deal, great deal. We're taking billions of dollars, and they've done a fantastic job. But it's not the Blackwell or the Rubin; those are the two top. But it's a very good chip, and people want it, and we think it's in our best interest to do. And we have some other little things to talk about. Maybe we'll start that first. Should I start that first? I think they're going to want me to. I have a feeling they're going to want me to. We have been notified and pretty strongly, but we'll find out what that all means. But we've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping. It's stopped. It's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or execution or executions. So I've been told that a good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset. But that's just gotten to me from information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution. And another piece of information that I think is very important is the leaker has been found and is in jail right now. And that's the leaker on Venezuela. And a very bad leaker. So there could be some others, and we'll let you know about that. We're hot on their trail. But the leaker has been found, and the leaker's in jail. And we'll probably be in jail for a long time. Let's see what happens. So we'll let you know. We'll keep you apprised. as to what's going to happen with that. And I want to thank all of the incredible people behind me, political people, both Republicans and Democrats, because they like whole milk. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, whole milk is, right? Is a great thing. Senator was in the office many years ago. It feels like many years ago, but quite a while ago, right at the beginning of my first term.
Yeah, with Elijah Cummings.
Right, with Elijah, a very good person. You and I had a good relationship with him. At that time, I think you were a congressman, and you've made a lot of progress. You've done very well.
Some would disagree.
I don't. I think you've done a great job. But it's great. It's great to have you here again. Appreciate it. So today, I'm delighted to sign the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act into law, which is a very important thing for our farmers, and I think maybe more important for our people, right? The people that drink milk. This is the first bill signing of the new year, and it will ensure that millions of school-age children have access to high-quality milk as we make America healthy again. I want to thank Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, who's behind me, Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Senators John Boozman and Mike Crapo, Roger Marshall, Peter Welch, as well as Representative G.T. Thompson and Tim Wahlberg, all great people. Also with us today is USDA National Nutrition Advisor, Dr. Ben Carson, my friend for a long time. We went head to head, and it was not easy going head to head with Ben. He's like, he still looks good. That's because he drinks a lot of milk. And some of our nation's wonderful dairy farmers and their children, they're going to be farmers for a long time, we hope. As it currently stands, schools participating in the National School Lunch Program are only able to offer students low or non-fat milk options. That was changed during the Obama administration. A lot of people disagreed with it at the time. With this legislation, schools will finally be able to expand their offerings to include nutritious whole milk. It's actually a legal definition, whole milk. And it's whole with a W for those of you that have a problem. Most of the media will get that. This is the perfect follow-up to the new real food pyramid, and Secretary Kennedy and Secretary Rollins announced that last week. You probably heard. This legislation also allows parents to directly request a substitute for milk for children with dairy intolerance. Previously, parents were required to submit a written statement from a doctor, but we're eliminating that rather ridiculous policy and allowing parents to choose what is best for their child, which is a big move. Hard to believe that that would be a big thing, but it is. And of course, these changes will be major victories for the American dairy farmers, who we love and who voted for me in great numbers, I will say. I think I got every one of them. In December, I also signed the Secure Rural Schools Reauthorization Act. And I'm proud to say that these two pieces of legislation will give school-age children across the country the resources and support that they need, not just to succeed, but really to thrive in life and later on in life. So I want to ask Secretary Rollins to say a few things, and then I'd like to ask Secretary Kennedy and Dr. Carson. I'd also like to hear from these great political leaders, senators, congressmen, if they'd like to say something. I'd be honored. So, Brooke, do you want to start?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And what a joy and an honor it is to be here. I feel like I have the best job in the world with representing all of these farmers. And Mr. President, not in our lifetime, has been a president who loves and supports our farmers more, and certainly the dairy farmers. I want to thank all of our farmers here today, sir. Most of them are 5th and 6th generation. They represent states from all across our country, and bringing the children to and seeing what the next generation of dairy farmers looks like. The amazing thing is some of these farmers back here from Butler, Pennsylvania, he milks
Where?
Butler, Pennsylvania.
I love Butler.
Yeah, they love you. They love you. But he milks about 40 to 60 cows. And then we have Jamie from Wisconsin, who milks about 5,000 cows. So they represent all across the spectrum and what this means. And I think it's important to note that in the last year, your support for these American farmers, for rural America. The One Big Beautiful Bill was the largest investment in rural America in history. I think that's important to note. The trade, and I see my friend Jameson Greer over there and Howard Lutnick on this end. We've opened up more than 24 different markets. Milk exports, dairy exports are up 23% just in the last year. And when you think about the ag deficit that happened under Joe Biden and the 4 years, we went from a surplus of agriculture products when we left the first time to a $50 billion deficit when we came back.
Yep.
So these are massive, massive wins for America. And I think it's important to note that. I also want to note, and you said it as well, that over a decade ago, Michelle Obama in this very room made an announcement on a short-sighted campaign to ditch the whole milk in schools. And that's what we're working to fix today. Last week, Bobby Kennedy and Ben Carson and Dr. Oz and the whole crew, sir, announced the dietary guidelines for Americans 2025 to 2030, which also reintroduced full-fat dairy into a healthy diet. And today, by signing this bill, Senator Marshall and Congressman Thompson and both all the wonderful men to the right who worked so hard on this, Peter Welsh, it is a bipartisan issue, and understanding where we are in this country and how important the health of certainly our children are is so important. USDA is posting today the guidance. So we're signing the bill, and USDA, we're moving at Trump time, is posting today the new rulemaking that is necessary to get whole milk back into school lunches. So that's a really, really big deal.
So how
too.
long will that take?
It should just take a few weeks, and then the milk starts moving in. So it's a big announcement, sir, for our schools and our children. And I know Secretary Kennedy will talk a little bit about the health issues, so I won't do that. I'll skip over that. You mentioned, and the last thing I'll say, I know we're here to sign the bill on whole milk, but Senator Crapo's work and our wonderful friend Doug LaMalfa, who we lost way too soon,
Right.
Their work on securing rural schools reauthorization act, how important that too is for rural America. 700 eligible rural counties across the nation are now guaranteed funds for schools and roads and infrastructure. So, sir, you say it all the time. Those are your people. They voted for you and with us and saw your vision from the beginning. This is who we're here to support today, in addition to the whole milk for healthy schools, which will help all children. Just remember, eat real food and drink whole milk. What a joy again it is to be here, and I especially want to thank all of our incredible farmers for what you do. So, sir, with that, I'll turn it over to Secretary Kennedy.
And just before you do that, how are we doing with food prices, bringing them down?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm glad you asked, because I brought a chart, and it just happened to be right behind me. So speaking of milk, milk is actually way down, and I know we're here to talk about that today.
It's
Obviously,
44%.
that's right, sir.
44% down. Milk, 44% down.
Eggs is way down. Milk is way down. This is just since we took office, sir. Fresh whole chicken down 2%, cheese down, tomatoes down, butter down. Of course, eggs are way down. Potatoes down almost 3%. Fresh fruits down almost 3%. But this is just the beginning. And as we continue to bring the cost of farming down, bring the cost of inputs down, open up the markets, support our farmers, we'll see even more affordability moving forward.
And eggs are down 31%, so that's really something. Where's Bobby?
Bobby's right here. I'm gonna sit there, Bobby, so
Right
you're
here,
not
Mr.
talking about
President.
this.
Go ahead, wherever you are. Go ahead. Good to see you. We like Bobby.
And I want to echo what Brooke said about finally having a president that sees the alignment between farm prosperity, good food policy, and the health of our children. These are common sense associations. Democrats have been talking about them for eons. Republicans have been talking about them. We finally have a president that is implementing these policies and getting real food to our children. Today, President Trump signs the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2025, a long overdue correction to the school nutrition policy that puts children's health first. For years, Washington treated fat, especially saturated fat, as the enemy. It made a war on saturated fat. This is the peacetime president. He's made it 8.5 deals ending wars, and he's also ended the war on saturated fat. As a result, whole and 2% milk disappeared from school menus, even though science has never shown that whole milk harms children. Evidence increasingly shows the opposite. The panoply of nutrients in whole milk is critical to brain development and physical development in our children. Whole and 2% milk provide 13 essential ingredients critical for growth, development, immune system function, and overall health, including protein, calcium, vitamin D, and healthy fats. Yet since these milk options were removed more than a decade ago, school milk consumption and meal participation have declined dramatically. Today, between 68% and 94% of school-age boys and girls fail to meet recommended dairy intake according to federal guidelines. When schools limit milk choices, the kids do not move to healthier substitutes. They move to caffeinated drinks, to sugar drinks, and to sweetened beverages with little or no nutritional value and the potential to wreak havoc on metabolic health, which is driving the chronic disease epidemic in our country. During the same period that whole milk was regulated out of lunchroom, rates of childhood obesity and diabetes rose significantly. Removing whole milk did not improve health, it damaged it. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, this law fixes that mistake. It allows schools in the National School Lunch Program to offer whole, reduced fat, low fat, or fat-free, flavored or unflavored, organic or conventional. It restores choice to schools, parents, and students and encourages consumption of nutrient-dense foods that kids will actually drink. The law also removes unnecessary bureaucracy by allowing parents or legal guardians to request milk substitutes without the necessity of involving a doctor. And it corrects a flawed technical rule by excluding fluid milk from saturated fat calculations that distorted school menus. Milk fat is not junk food. Treating it that way undermined nutrition and ignored the science. Last week, Secretary Rollins and I unveiled President Trump's new food pyramid and updated our dietary guidelines with a clear message: eat real food. This law puts that principle into action. As Secretary of Health and Human Services, I support this reform because it aligns federal policy with evidence-based nutrition, not ideology or dogma. Healthy kids need real food. They need real protein. They need healthy fats, and they need policies grounded in reality and science. I want to thank President Trump again for his vision, for signing this bill, for continuing to put children's health first. This is exactly the kind of practical change that will make America healthy again.
Thank you. Thank you, Bobby. We have some milk here. It's been sitting here for 5 days, so it's from the original bottle, and I brought it so the press can have some. You can swig it all out of it. Remember the old days when we were kids, everybody shared a bottle? Today, we tend not to do that, but if you'd like to, if you trust the person that you're drinking after, it's right here. It's yours, okay? It's semi-fresh, 5-6 days old. Thank you. So Ben Carson, a special man, knows a lot about health. He looks better than ever. So Ben, how about it?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for being interested in the health of the people. It's made a big difference in facilitating an atmosphere where the agencies can work together. Secretary Rollins, Secretary Kennedy, Marty McCary, Dr. Oz, the whole group, every week at least meeting once to talk about these things, and it's made a big difference. And I want to thank the dairy farmers. I know you guys have been in the doghouse for a little while. You're out of the doghouse today.
Yes, sir.
And, whole milk is a wonderful beverage. Good protein. We talk about real food. It is real food. Healthy fats, important nutrients. You look at vitamin D, you look at calcium, phosphorus, the things that are absolutely essential for bone development and for teeth. But as a neurosurgeon, the thing I really like is what it does for the brain. The brain starts to develop right after conception and adds millions of neurons every single day. Continues to do that right up until the mid to late 20s. Now, it's important what that brain is getting during the development. Is it getting soda or is it getting milk?
So milk would help your cognitive ability.
Absolutely. You can tell who's been
Take a
drinking milk.
cognitive test. I've taken a lot of them. I've aced every one of them because I drink milk.
It's good for it, and it shows.
Do you consider there to be a big difference in taste between what you are having and this is just, it just looks so good sitting there, right?
Yes, sir.
It looks better. Tastes thick. Go ahead, Ben, sorry to
Well,
interrupt you.
you know, when you go to school and you give the kids milk, real milk, they love it. When you pour the stuff that looks like, you know, dish pan water, you don't particularly want that. It doesn't taste good either. So this is a great day. It's only a part of what's happening with our emphasis on health. You know, our longevity has been going down. In other industrialized nations, it's been going up. And it's because we haven't been paying attention to this. That has changed, and we want to thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you very much, Ben. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you've done too for the country. I'd like to ask a few of our senators to say a couple of words. Maybe we should start with the Democrat in our midst. What do you think?
Peter Welch.
Peter Welch. And
Yeah.
thank you very much for being here, Peter.
No, thank you. You know, our dairy farmers are so vitally important, and they have a way of life that transmits from one generation to another. And it's tougher than ever for our dairy farmers in Vermont, our dairy farmers in Pennsylvania and others, South Carolina are here. But they're the lifeblood of the community. Nobody works harder and nobody does things that are better for our nutrition. And also for our kids, I'm in agreement. Kids having access to healthy milk is really good milk, whole milk is really good for them. And one of the things that I get very excited about, that really the Vermont farmers talked about, is they have their milk from their farm that then goes directly to many of our schools. And then kids come out to the farms and start seeing how milk is made, what farming is about. That's good for America. It's not a party deal. This has been a bipartisan effort. I appreciate working with my colleague, Senator Marshall, who did a great job, and JT when I was in the House. And Tim, thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
President.
Peter. It's got to be like a 90-10 issue, another one of those 90-10. It's good to have you on our side. But it's a great issue, and it's a great thing to do, and we're very proud of it. We're very proud of our farmers. Senator, do you want to say a few words?
Sure, I'll be very brief. We all want to see you sign this bill. But I really appreciate you and Brooke bringing up the Secure Rural Schools legislation. This is critical legislation to our rural communities across this country, and we have to fight every couple of years to get it extended just a couple of years. And this extension we got this year went back to pick up a few years that we missed and is going to expire again at the end of the next year. And Mr. President and Secretary, I'm going to encourage us to get back in here to sign a Secure Rural Schools bill that is permanent. I want to set a goal, or hope that you'll set a goal with me to get that done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody?
Mr. President. Yeah, Mr. President, thank you so much for having us here on behalf of Kansas dairy farmers. Thank you. Milk is the most wholesome, nutritious drink known to humankind. Not only is it full of essential nutrients, it's full of healthy fats as well as protein. As Dr. Carson pointed out, those healthy fats are what helps that brain develop and help you absorb the fat soluble vitamins. The protein is why you drink milk and you're not hungry again in 30 minutes. And I have to point out that under the previous couple administrations ago, thanks to them, we have a whole generation of young adults who have osteopenia and osteoporosis because they never drank milk for an entire generation. So getting milk back in the schools is going to give us healthy bones and healthy minds. It sticks to your ribs and it tastes great. Thanks for your leadership. Yes, sir, Mr. President. Thank you.
Anybody? Politically first, and then we're going to go to the farmers.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Mr. President, thank you so much. I want to ask Dr. Carson if there's an age limit on the cognitive ability. Drinking a whole lot more of this. But thank you so much.
Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
we literally have legislators here that have worked on this for years. This is something that's been very, very difficult. You're able to help us
You
get
would
it
think
over
it would
the,
have been very easy, actually.
exactly, but you were able to help us get it over the
Yeah.
You and your great team, Brooke, all of these people have done such a good job. Not only with this issue, but all that we're doing for the farm community, which is so, so very important. So thank you very, very much. And I know that you're going to continue to support farmers like you have.
We do, right from the
Since you were
beginning.
elected. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Mr. President, G.T. Thompson,
Yep.
Chairman of the House Agriculture Committee. I have been working on this bill for 15 years. And thank you.
That's amazing.
Because of your support and your leadership, we were able to get this across the line.
It's such a shame that it would be so hard.
Common sense
Yeah, it's
it
common
was
sense.
lost. And in the, the benefits today go to those precious children that we see over there. It goes to our dairy farm families who work so hard 7 days a week. There's no day off for a dairy farmer. And quite frankly, our rural communities who, when the misguided move to take whole milk and 2% milk and flavor out of the schools, we lost a generation, probably 2 generations of milk drinkers. And it devastated those rural communities because you lose the dairy farms, then you lose all the supplies, businesses, and then you lose grocery stores and you lose community pharmacies. Well, that day ends today with your signature. We reverse that trend and we build a robust rural economy. And I'll just close with what will be the theme of my next bumper sticker, whole milk heals.
That's right. Yeah, that's what they say. I think it's probably true. Anybody else?
Well, Mr. President, as Chairman of the Education Workforce Committee, this fits, with the kids, with what they can enjoy in school and grow from. Also to have G.T. Thompson sponsor the bill on that committee, and I think I've worked with you for 15 years, but we finally got it done in committee. This makes an impact for education, for our workforce, the health that's there, and the reality of what this farming industry does. I live in the most diverse farm district in Michigan. Thanks for coming to Michigan yesterday.
It was great.
And my kids were raised on, it's legal now, raw milk, taken right out of the bulk tank. And my oldest son became a Pulitzer-nominated journalist for the Chicago Tribune, and I think the milk did it, right? Then I have the benefit of Dr. Carson being a graduate of Andrews University in my district. So all of that goes together. Thank you for signing this. It'll make a difference.
Great job. So how about a couple of the farmers? Would anybody like to speak? Would you like to, you want to just say how great milk is?
It's so amazing.
Yes, Mr. President, we want to say thank you for doing this. It's been stated several times how long this took. And so thank you for your support and leadership and finally making this happen. As a mom and a dairy farmer, this isn't just a big win for the dairy farm families across the country, but as it's been said, the millions of school-age kids that depend on school lunches for their nutrition and to fuel their bodies. So thank you.
So they've been fighting this for years then, huh?
15 years.
Well, have you
Before
been
these
fighting
kids.
it? You're too young to be fighting it. Have you been fighting it for that long?
For a while, we've been fighting it. I mean, I think I speak for everybody. It's been a long time coming. So your leadership is it.
Well, it's great. I had no idea you would. Just seems to make sense, right? Hard to believe. When you said 15 years, I said, you have to be kidding. It's government is tough. Government can be very tough. How about you? Would you like to say something?
So we are very grateful and thankful that you passed this bill because it is common sense as to what we should be consuming, whole foods and whole milk. Unfortunately, that has not been the case for a few years, but research shows and our MAHA movements have been taking the right steps to make America healthy. And our children are growing into active teenagers and athletes. And what do they need? They need strong bones. They need the energy. They need the healthy muscles. And so we are so grateful that the science is there and we are actually at the right point and the right step, making sure America is healthy. So we are very thankful.
It's so great. I look forward to getting it all the time. Sometimes I open a refrigerator, I say milk with rice and milk with water and milk with everything. And I say, what kind of milk is it? That's what I like right there. That's great. Thank you very much. Please, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Patrice Anruka. I am the Center Director at the Independent Women's Forum. I work on economic policies,
Right.
but I'm also a mom of boys. As you can see, this is Jesse. Jesse, you want to say your name and age?
My name is Jesse. I am 6 years old. I am 7 years old. I want to be an engineer when I grow up. I am a first grader. I also know where does milk come from.
Good job. Where does it come from?
So first farmers milk it, and then next they put it into a coal tank, and then to take the germs out, they put it very hot, and then they put it back in the cold tank, and then they hauled it to somewhere that's cold in a big refrigerator.
What, that is I'm gonna give him a medal. Yeah. Everybody, these guys want it. Let me tell you, politicians want it. I'm gonna give that to you. Is that okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's
And this is
beautiful.
Daniel,
Wow.
his younger brother. Daniel, how old are you?
5.
And what grade are you in?
For kindergarten.
Kindergarten. And these boys are involved in sports. They go to a public school in the Maryland area, and
That's
you know,
great.
many of their friends, you know, are drinking, you know, the kind of options that they don't really like. And so it's good that as they get to drink a glass of milk every morning, their friends will be able to drink that at school as
I
well.
think
So
it's
thank you
great.
very much for
Beautiful
what you're
boys.
doing for
Beautiful
public
people.
school kids in particular.
Beautiful people. Thank you very much. Doing a great job too.
Thank you.
Please.
I'm Amber Schwartz. I'm also with Independent Women, but I'm here with my son, Luke, who is 13 years old. We're in Alexandria, Virginia. Luke needs a lot of protein right now to grow. In fact, his doctor just told us between 60 and 70 grams a week. And I can't feed him a whole chicken every day. So supplementing with milk is really helping us. Unfortunately, at school, they've offered skim milk and chocolate, and he does not like either. And so he has been turning to the juice boxes and other drinks that have sugar. And so thank you for giving him the opportunity, and
Great.
parents too, to make a choice.
That's great. That's really great. How about you?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm
Nice,
the one.
beautiful red hair. Look
Yeah. I tried to match here, so.
Yes.
But I'm the aforementioned one from Butler, Pennsylvania, so
Yes.
you know that place very well,
I do.
and we still love you, so.
Thank you.
But, Mr.
Thank
President, I was thinking last night when I was milking what I was gonna say, and I thought, well, this is such a monumental day in agriculture, not just dairy farmers, but for all of agriculture, because this helps me as a producer, helps the processors. It also helps these kids here. So it's good all around. And this is perfect legislation, a great day for America is what this is.
Thank you very much. Beautifully said, and we appreciate it. And it is a great place that you come from. I love it. Please.
Mr. President, thank you. It's an honor to be here. And, you know, I think this is about choices. You know, this day's been a long time coming. We've been waiting on this for many years. And, you know, it's great that we're able to provide choices now in schools with whole milk. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for everything that you do for the dairy industry, that us dairy farmers produce valuable nutrients every day for consumers.
So you're going to need to produce more milk because you're not mixing it up with all sorts of things, right?
That's right.
That's great. It's a big, how much of an increase will that be? Do you have any idea?
Pretty good.
A lot more.
A lot more, absolutely, absolutely.
That's
So,
great. Boy, that's so good for the industry.
absolutely.
Hard to believe you had to wait so long.
Yep. So thank you.
Would you like to say
Mr.
that?
President, I'd like to thank you again for your support behind this and the gentleman standing behind you. Like you said, we worked 15 years on it. I advocate for our industry a lot out in the community, and I know I've been into high schools, I've been in middle schools where the students want milk. I did a taste test one time at a high school where we gave them whole milk versus the skim milk their school was giving them. The kids love the whole milk. So just your all support behind us, your support getting it pushed through. I really appreciate what you've done and what the gentleman behind you were able to do.
We support the farmer.
Yes, sir.
The farmer knows what's right, better than anybody else. Bobby would tell you that. I mean, the farmer, they know what's right.
Yes, sir.
Especially when it comes to things like this. Sorry it took so long. It was 15 years. I can't believe it. Howard, would you like to say something?
What's amazing is that the president has the leadership and common sense to drive the right outcomes. Why should kids not be given the choice to drink whole milk? How is that even possible? So it's amazing to work for you because you just own common sense and you're driving it through our economy, you're driving it through the farmers. You've got great leadership in Secretary Rollins and Secretary Kennedy, and it's great fun to be here because, I mean, think of today. I mean, how much fun is this? It's just common sense. Come on.
Like the Oval Office.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Even the media, they come here, they're here a lot, but it's sort of like you're in the Oval Office. It's the whole ballgame. It all begins and ends and then re-begins here. There is no place like it, right? Isn't that exciting? There's no place like, if you love the country especially, there's no place like it. So thank you. Thank you, Howard, very much. So let's sign it. Should I sign it?
Yes, sir.
Your last chance. Then you go another 15 years. Let's do it. Do it?
You go stand right there.
Come on, Lynn. We have to do a good one here. This is right?
Yes, sir.
This is an important one for me. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Which signed by other pen. So you can never make a mistake. They made a lot of mistakes. Anyway, here it is. Thank you. Thank you all very much. You have it?
Thank you.
Gonna
Thank
drink
you.
it? I'm gonna start drinking a lot of it.
We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. That's great. You hold that on for a little while. You'll give it to us later, okay? It's a good job you did. That's great. So any questions on what we just signed, please?
Mr. President, on Iran, Mr. President,
Let's talk about this.
I've got one. Nope. Coming from a family, my dad was a dairy engineer from Texas Tech
So you're a big, strong guy.
There he is. Drink lots of whole milk in my day. Would you look at this as being a shift from what the industry kind of went woke with the oat milk, almond
It's
milk?
going the exact,
It's going exactly the opposite direction. Let's talk about the impact of dairy farmers on this whole thing.
There are a lot of changes being made in the last year. As you know, we're still a little bit less than a year. I think there's probably never been a year like this for a president or for a country. We have tremendous success. We've had success with everything we've done. And the economy now is coming back. And here's an example of farmers. They're going to be working harder to produce because it's not going to be watered down by something. And it's great to see it. And if you'd like a zip of that, I'd give it to you. It's actually been here. It's only been here for a few minutes before we started. It's not 5 days. 5 days and open, right? Yeah, it's not, but it's an honor. What we've done in the country in the last year, it's incredible. All of us together. It's incredible. So I appreciate the question.
Mr. President, Ron, you said that the killing has stopped. Who told you that the killings have stopped? If it's the Iranian regime.
We have been informed by very important sources on the other side, and they've said the killing has stopped and the executions won't take place. There was supposed to be a lot of executions today, and that the executions won't take place. And we're going to find out. I mean, I'll find out after this. You'll find out. But we've been told on good authority, and I hope it's true. Who knows, right? Who knows?
We've seen
Crazy world.
buybacks, so how do you trust
No,
them?
you've seen that over the last few days, and they said people were shooting at them with guns, and they were shooting back, and it's one of those things. But they told me that there'll be no executions, and so I hope that's true.
Does this mean military action is now off the table against Iran?
Well, we're going to watch and see what the process is, but we were given a very good statement by people that are aware of what's going on.
Is that considering military action? Is that still a
There's
threat?
no executions. Everyone's talking about a lot of executions were taking place today. We were just told no executions. I hope that's true. That's a big thing. Yes, ma'am.
The foreign minister of Greenland, she said a while ago in a press conference in an embassy of Denmark that she made very clear in the meeting that happened here in the White House what are their limits. She also said that it was a very respectful meeting. Are those limits going to be respected?
Well, we're going to see what happens with Greenland. We need Greenland for national security, so we're going to see what happens. They're going to brief me on the meeting right after this conference. In fact, the sooner I get you out, the faster I'm going to know exactly what happened. But we have a very good relationship with Denmark, as you know. We'll see. But, we're doing the Golden Dome. We're doing a lot of things, and we really need it. If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in, and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it, but we can do everything
There's
about it.
no more than what they can do the
Well, we're going to
rest.
see. I mean, look, we're going to see what happens, but we need it. I'm not the first one. This was talked about by President Truman, and 40 years before President Truman, they were talking about it. They've been talking about this for 100 years. This is not anything so new. A lot of people don't realize that, but this was a hot subject. Probably not as hot as it is now, but it was a hot subject for a long time. We need it for national security, and that includes for Europe. And I spoke with, as you know, Mark, the head of NATO, and he really wants to see something happen. It's very
It's being reported that Health and Human Services released frozen funds to Planned Parenthood. I'm wondering why this happened and why Planned Parenthood is receiving any federal
I don't know
funds.
anything about that. Bobby, do you know anything about that?
What was the question?
It's being reported that frozen funds were released to Planned Parenthood in December by HHS. I'm wondering why that happened.
I haven't
I have
heard.
not heard that.
I have not heard that.
Mr. President, on NATO, right now, it sounds like you are saying that you would potentially acquire Greenland by force. That would be a NATO country.
You're saying that.
Are you saying that? Would you do that?
You're saying that.
Would you
I
acquire
didn't
them by
say
force
that.
right
You're
now?
telling me that that's what I'm
I
gonna
think
do.
we're-
You don't know what I'm gonna do.
So what are the options?
Your
then?
network
Because
doesn't know either.
The Danish foreign minister said that there's still fundamental differences after the meeting with Rubio and with the vice president. Are you willing to leave the NATO alliance in order to get what you want with Greenland? What are the options right
Well, I
now?
wouldn't be telling you what I'm willing to do, certainly. I'm not gonna give up options, but it's very important. Greenland's very important for the national security, including of Denmark. And the problem is not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off. They were talking about they put an extra dog, and they were serious about this. They put an extra dog sled there last month. They added a second dog sled. That's not going to do the trick.
Denmark fought alongside the United States in both Afghanistan
Thank you
and
for telling
Iraq.
me that. I appreciate it.
But
I have a very good relationship
they're
with
an ally
Denmark,
of
and
the
we'll see how it
United
all
States.
works out. I think something will work out. Yeah.
Mr. President. On Venezuela, Cabello, the de facto #2 in Venezuela right now, he seemed pretty reluctant to work with the U.S. And obviously he's
With us, they just gave us 50 million
Cabello,
barrels
the
of oil.
#2, the Venezuela security chief.
I know the #1, we just had a great conversation today, and she's a terrific person. I mean, she's somebody that we've worked with very well. Marco Rubio is dealing with her. I dealt with her this morning. We had a long call. We discussed a lot of things, and I think we're getting along very well with Venezuela. Yes.
You created a new Assistant Attorney General position dedicated to rooting out fraud in the
Yeah,
United
it's
States.
fantastic. The person is fantastic.
Who is it?
It's a he.
When are you
I
going
will
to
tell
nominate?
you maybe within minutes. I mean, I don't know if it's appropriate to say yet because we're going through a process, but we have chosen a person who's very tough, very smart, very fair.
Mr. President, you gave a speech yesterday in Michigan about how you recalibrated the American economy to work for workers, U.S. auto factories. We've seen core inflation's completely tamed. You lowered the trade deficit to the lowest amount since 2009. American exports are growing, but we're all still waiting on the Supreme Court case for tariffs. Given the success that you've had in the first 12 months, what is at stake in this case,
It's a
sir?
little bit like whole milk. I can't believe we even have a case. This was a case started by very China-centric people and also anti-American people, frankly, people that don't want us to do well. Tariffs have helped us stop 8 wars. They've helped us get the best trade numbers we've ever had. They've helped us get $18 trillion brought into the country. And maybe above all else, they've given us tremendous national security, just the threat of tariffs. You saw that just yesterday when I put tariffs on a certain country. We won't talk about that country, but you know who it is, based on the fact that if you do business with that country, it's going to make them, it's going to bring them to the table a lot faster. So we have made hundreds of billions of dollars with tariffs. We have very little inflation. Think of it. Inflation's gone down and productivity, everything has gone up. We've never taken in money like we have. We've never had anywhere near $18 trillion invested in our country. Neither has any other country. It's the biggest number by maybe 5 times. 5 times, not 5%, 5 times. Nobody's ever seen numbers like this. We have plants going up. You mentioned I was in Michigan yesterday. I was at the Ford plant where they make the Ford 150. It's one of the original plants. It was from before World War I. It's a giant plant. That plant was probably going to be closed. And 2 years ago, they were doing very poorly. And now they just announced yesterday that they're going to go 24 hours around the clock. 3 shifts, which they rarely do. That's Ford, and Ford's having the best numbers they've ever had. General Motors having the best numbers they've ever had. Stellantis, which hasn't been here, is now investing billions, tens of billions of dollars on building in the country. We're building auto plants all over the country. We're building AI all over the country. We're leading China by a lot, and a lot of it has to do with tariffs. That would be a very disappointing decision. And especially since the people that are fighting me are people that want China to do well. And we're doing great against China. We're doing great against everybody. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world, as I say often. We're right now the hottest country anywhere in the world. And a year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Thank you very much, everybody.
We're done. Number 2, the Venezuela security.
They've helped us get the.
Okay, that's that. I wanted to say this. The topic really hits home for me because they talked about the price of whole chickens, and she stressed that multiple times. And I can tell you from experience that like I said in the chat, I don't know who read it or saw it, but I fed my cat chicken for 15 years. I went to the store and bought his chicken. I started off buying the normal chicken, like breast, and then getting him I don't know what you would call the name, just the brand stuff, that you would get from Kroger's or whatever. And he wouldn't eat it. He kept getting sick. So eventually I had to get it from the Amish or the farmers, what they're talking about. And they said the chickens have gone whole chickens. She's like, well, we can't feed the kids whole chickens in school. Look, the price of chicken has not gone down. I was spending $20 to $25 a chicken, and I had to buy 3 a week. I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they were $12, $10, and if they did go down, if the chicken prices did go down, which they did, but it's not real chicken. It's just a bunch of antibiotics and steroids, and it's trash. It's not the type of stuff you would want to feed your kids or even your animal. So I don't know how they keep saying the price of chicken's going down. Just from that right there, not true. It's just not true. The price of milk has not gone down. 6% from who, Stick? That's nothing. 6% on the dollar is literally nothing. That's 6 pennies. Times that by 10, by 20, you're saving what, $1.20? Oh Lord, no, that's not true, bro. That's if you're talking about fake chicken, but go to a real farm and buy real chicken. The price hasn't gone down, My Little Pony. I'm just being honest with you. It did not go down. I know. It was a burden on me to have to spend almost, it was $75 a week on my cat to eat chicken. That's more than I would spend on myself almost. So, yeah, it's not even just lab grown, it's not even just lab grown at this point. It's they keep these chickens just cooped up and they hit them with a bunch of steroids and they puff them up and they get them nice and big. Look, when you go to the Amish and you buy a chicken from a farmer, they literally cut off its head and they freeze it right away. There's no processing. There's nothing. The most you're going to get a chicken to weigh is 3.5 pounds. A 4-pound chicken is huge. You can go to Kroger's and buy 7, 8, 9-pound chickens. That is not normal. You will never find that on a farm. You will never find that on a farm. Not without it being not organic. No way, dude. No way. I went to local farmer to buy fresh farm chicken. They want exactly $20, dude. It's true. I know. Yeah, hormones, all of that. Hormones, antibiotics, steroids, the whole nine. Yeah, it's not real chicken. And towards the end of Marmar's, dude, he was look, my cat was like a drug dog with chicken. He was able to walk by chicken and smell it and walk away. Look, dude, I would try to sneak in like a store-bought chicken until I could get out to Amish country or to, get him what he wants. And he would just look at it and walk by. Like he didn't want nothing to do with it. And that said the whole world to me. I knew right away what was good and what wasn't, just from the way my cat treated it. My animal knows. Damn well y'all should know. And I don't know why these people are coming on here prancing around like it is, like this is what it is. And it's just like, yo, what about the price of orange juice? It was like, dude, $9 for a gallon last time I was at the store. $9. $9. I think orange juice just might be better to drink than milk. I could be wrong. Yeah, it did, Slick. He did. He was 20 years old, dude. He was over 20 years old. He got fed the best chicken his whole life, dude. He walked by a chicken and said, psh. If it was not straight from the farm, he did not want it. Yeah, Ryan wasn't wrong about the hormones. You weren't wrong, Ryan. It's hormones. It's antibiotics. It's all types of stuff, dude. They pump them up and get them all fat, and they look like you know what I used to call them? I was like, who the heck put the damn pterodactyl in here, bro? I used to call them pterodactyls. Like, that ain't no chicken. That's a pterodactyl right there, bro. Not a chicken. Pure orange flavored sugar. Yeah, that's what they'll give them and call it orange juice, They'll put some orange in it and call it orange juice. Dude, and the steaks, they left the price of beef out. Don't get me started on the price of beef. You eat a steak now is a luxury. I used to eat steak all the time. Now it's a luxury, bro. I just refuse to spend $20 a pound on a good steak, dude. Milk has added vitamins not naturally in there after processing. Yeah, no, milk really isn't that good for you. That's another propaganda tool that they told us back in the day. Milk's really not that good for you. Literally. At all. So, this was actually, to me, it was an I like when he talks to the farmers. I like when RFK comes on and these are the topics because they're simple, but telling. Very, 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 very telling. And they don't know very much when it comes to reality of the people. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care who it is. They are not locked in with us. Because if they were, they would understand we're all struggling to buy good food. Now, you can go ahead and throw out, we got low price food. Yeah, because you're making it in a lab and it's not real. We don't want your fake food. We don't want it. We just don't want your fake food. Keep it. Give us back our real food like it used to be. Remember, like if you go back, this is crazy. This is how big of a decline we've been in. And then I'm going to probably let y'all go. But this is how big of a decline that we've been in as far as our food and everything's concerned is when I was a kid. And if you go back and watch the videos of us as high school kids, everybody looked healthy, looked good. You see everybody now, they're all like, look all pale and just, it's a tale of two different worlds. That's because we weren't getting all that GMO stuff that they're eating now. We were actually getting decent produce, decent meat, decent everything. And the further you go back, go look at the people in the 50s. Look how healthy they were. Super healthy back then. You know, so I don't understand where they're going with this. I mean, Bill Gates was in the White House, dude. Trump had a meeting with Bill Gates. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I hate to buy chicken unless it has bones in it, whole chicken. But that is even compromised. Yeah, the whole chickens are, brother. You just look. I'm telling you, if you want a good whole chicken, try to get it from the farm, from the Amish, from your local meat market. And don't buy it or get the organic no antibiotics, no hormones, no steroids, all of that free. Get that. But it's like, dude, it went from being like $2.99 a pound, maybe $1.99 a pound, to about $8 a pound, if not more. It's expensive. So now it's like $25 to eat a good chicken. It's like, yo, just to buy like 5 breasts. It used to be like, it used to be cheap. I used to be able to now they're not that cheap. So yeah, you got to be careful. It has ruined the meat. Yeah, oh yeah, bro. They totally ruined it. Who's that? Who's halal? Who's that? I don't know who that is. But yeah, they ruined it, man. That's just like they're definitely ruining our food. They're definitely ruining our health, which makes us more mad, more angry. You can see why some of our poor kids, it's only getting worse. Everybody's going to be overweight and unhealthy. And not even because they eat too much. It's because of what they're eating. That's the sad part, is they're just eating what they're fed, man. They're just eating what they can afford. That's just crazy to me, dude. Capabilities. I just feel like that everybody should have the right to eat healthy food and be able to afford it. Healthy food. Real food. Not 3D printed meat. Not stuff grown in Monsanto. Not stuff grown in a lab. Not Impossible burgers, but real burgers. Dude, I just know that steak is so much. I just know that the meat is so much that it's like, what's even the point? That's all I know. I've never bought a whole cow, but I do know somebody that bought a whole cow like not that long ago. It was during this, like when it was still hot out. And with the prices, because they're farmers and they know farmers, et cetera, and they bought I might have even had 2 of them in two refrigerators, but the one they left unplugged on one of the young daughter unplugged the deep freezer out in the garage where the whole cow was in the hottest day of the summer. They didn't realize for like 2 or 3 days. So, dude, the whole cow, everything was just complete. Everything, it smelled so bad. It was so sad. Everything got ruined. Yeah, dude, it took so I get a phone call, like, can you come help her? She's like my age, whatever. And I went over there to help her. This is kind of a funny story. I go over there to help her. And I got warned when I get there. Oh, the chick that's helping is the head of the Antifa Columbus chapter. I was like, what? Oh, great. So being that I am, I wore a Trump hat, or I did something to troll. You know what I'm saying? I did something to troll. I wore like an American flag shirt, something to troll. I don't remember what it was, but I did. I'm a troll, bro. Like at Christmas, I knew there was a bunch of people that like really had TDS syndrome to the fullest. I wore a happy, jolly Trump Christmas shirt. I don't wear Trump. I did it because I like to get the reaction. So, anyways, this chick's going, she's like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, ugh, ugh. And I asked her if I could use her, her thing so I could pack one up, and the chick would not let me pack one up because it wasn't her kind. She's like, I'm not even gonna get into it, but I started like trolling her. Come to find out, and then I'm gonna leave it at this. She was a J, she was a witch, and she was Antifa all in one, dude. She said she was a Wiccan or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm like sitting there going, oh yeah, and I'm asking her questions, and I'm just trolling her. And the girl that I was helping goes, Tim, she's Jewish. I'm like, a J Wiccan? Oh Lord, explains it all. And I just stopped the whole conversation like, yeah, I'm good. I explained it all right there. A J Wiccan Antifa. I was like, head of Antifa, my ass, dude. This chick couldn't be the head of the bus. No way. No way. No way, bro. No. If that's the head of Antifa, y'all are in big, big trouble. Big trouble, dude. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Kunk. What's up, Forever? FDD Che. How about FU, bro? Man, why you got to come in all hot? What does he got to do? What does that got to do with this conversation? Coming in all hot, bro. Trump has got to go. Where do you want him to go? Greenland? Let's go. I hope he goes to Greenland. We need some more green in our lives. Reed, are you still here? He just got back from the dispo. He got some green in his life. He just got back. Stop SNAP benefits buying junk food for their kids. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what they stick you with, right? I agree. I'm with that. Like, especially like the kid. Like, look, dude. Joe Biden did nothing for the kids as usual besides smell their hair. He did nothing. They remember, wasn't his wife who was in charge? Like, who was in charge? Wasn't all the wives in charge of the school programs and stuff? I'll tell you, I don't even know because the dude just sat in the basement for so long. I don't know who did what for like the last year or two. I don't even know who did what. Like, what was Joe Biden's actual role? Keeks, you're smart. Help me out. What was Joe Biden's role? What did he do? What did he, like that last whole year? What did he do? Maybe 2 years. What did he actually do? Hey, man, please don't use all caps. I don't want to remove your comment, but I have to. And if people wonder that's watching, why does he always remove the all caps? Because YouTube doesn't like the all caps. What happens is when you do all caps, unless you have a wrench by your name, it's cool. I'm explaining it. I normally don't do that. If you don't have a wrench by your name and people start using all caps, it starts to slow down the algorithm because they think that people are arguing and fighting, and it penalizes you. So we want, like, not that. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with what people say. And I wish I could say that a lot of times when it happens, but it be happening so fast. Just please don't use caps. But I wish I could tell you, it's not, dude, I be reading a lot of the messages. I don't want to erase them at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. So it's just what YouTube, it's just like I don't want to censor myself right now. I wish I could tell you what all I really want to say. I've had to take this topic and dumb it down in the best way I can. He ate ice cream, didn't he? Dude, you remember when Joe Biden went to Maui after the fires and he was like, yo, I can relate to you guys. I'm about to go I'm about to go on a rant. He said, I can relate to you guys. My house caught on fire once, and I almost lost my commander in my car, my Corvette. What, bro? They lost their families, their houses, everything. And you're talking about how, bro, he had a kitchen fire and he almost lost his Corvette. Did you really just say that? We don't care about Commander. Now, here's the rant. That stupid dog Commander. That Commander reminds me of the liberals. He was your mascot. Commander. Commander, dude. Oh, my God. Joe Biden's dog Commander was the worst of the worst. Hold on. Joe Biden's dog Commander, dude. Oh, it bit more, dude. Oh, Joe Biden's dog Commander. It bit more Secret Service agency. All right, hold on. Hold on. Biden's dog Commander bit Secret Service personnel. Hold on. Here, dude. This is so Joe Biden right here. I don't even know what to say. This is so Joe Biden. Hold on. I hate. Here, dude. Check this out. Hold on, you guys. Brian knows my disdain for this stupid dog. Like, honestly, I used to have to do stories on that. That was the most when I had to cut because I've been doing this for a while. I enjoy covering. I enjoyed talking more about Biden's dog than I did Biden. Let's just put it that way. His dog was had way more news. So here we go. This is his special dog that he was always crying about. Commander. Tommy. Tommy the dog. That's what we're going to call it. Tommy the dog. You guys are going to laugh at this one. Ryan, you're going to laugh out of this.
Nibble at the people they love, but sinking their teeth into human skin is a rare incident. But this case study takes a 180-degree turn when it comes to President Joe Biden's dog, Commander. In fact, it seems Commander, not his handlers, commands, in fact, what he does. Our next report explains.
A dog is a human's best friend. The love and care that the human parents give them, the pooches give back with even more affection. US President Joe Biden is also a pet parent of 2 dogs. He has 2 German Shepherds named Major and Commander. Well, it looks like Commander took the command of safeguarding the Bidens way too seriously. Let's sink our teeth into some serious news here. President Biden's pooch, Commander, has been causing quite the ruckus in the White House. Not because he's been burying bones in the Rose Garden, but he's been on a biting spree. Commander has been giving the Secret Service agents quite a rough time in the White House. According to documents obtained through Freedom of Information requests, Commander has been sinking his teeth into the job a bit too literally, with reports of him taking a nip at the US Secret Service agents not once, not twice, but a whopping 24 times. Looks like Commander might have mistaken them for a midnight snack. These agents have been getting bitten everywhere from the wrist to the waist. The 24 incidents took place between October 2022 to July 2023. An agent even had to get hospitalized because of the severe severity of the bite, while others sustained injuries which were fixed with stitches. One of the agents lost a significant amount of blood, post which a care package was delivered with painkillers, antibiotics, a muzzle, and dog biscuits. But that's not how one makes friends, going around nibbling on the agents like they're chew toys. The diligent Secret Service agents didn't give up despite being treated like dog treats.
I was gonna look at him all masked up. Look at him all masked up. There, that's what he did. That's right. He hid behind the mask. Look at him all masked up, looking just evilly disgusting. And yeah, I said that the dog probably found Hunter's stash before the Secret Service did a few times. And that's probably why he bit the Secret Service. Because they kept finding, Hunter's stash. And he's like, stay away from the stash, bro. It's mine. That's what I'm thinking. They're all cracked out.
They changed their tactics. Agents decided to give Commander lots of room. They stood as far as they could when he was in the room. Maybe a real treat or two would have helped. Looks like even this didn't work, and finally the president and the first lady had to step in. The Biden family brought in additional trainers to discipline him. They consulted an array of veterinarians and animal behaviorists, but Commander didn't abide by anyone's command other than his own.
But Commander didn't command to anything but his own commands. Look at Biden with his mask on, like, go get him, Commander. Hey there, now. Oh, man. Dude, this is your president, y'all. What? That's your president.
At last, the Bidens bid farewell to Commander.
Compassion,
They sent him to live with
courage.
his relatives.
Is that?
But
I hope
Commander
you're not
is not
talking
the
about your
first dog who
dog.
the Bidens had to send away. Their other dog, Major, was also removed from the White House in 2021, followed by several biting incidents.
So is Angel a he, they, them?
From impeachment to inaugurations, if it's a political.
All right. That was funny, dude. His dog is stupid. That was hilarious, bro. You can't make that stuff up sometimes, you guys. You just can't make that stuff up. That's one of my favorite things to complain about is Joe Biden's dog. So yeah, man, he goes to Maui and starts trying to compare his life to the people in Maui and uses that stupid dog as an example on how he could relate to them. I thought that was just quite amusing. And people come in here and cry about what we watch every day. And we ain't never witnessed no stuff like that. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. Major Commie. Come here, Major Commie. Let's go. Major Commie. Bro, it's crazy, dude. It's just crazy. The whole thing, like, that's why I asked, what did he actually do? After seeing him, dude, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. After just seeing him with the mask on and all the people standing there, I actually felt a little anxiety. I had a little flashback of back when it was like, I used to, you know what, dude? For somebody like me, I thrived during that time. Because it was just constant trolling and constant FU. And it was constant, dude. They said you had to be in by midnight. Yeah, right. Or 10 o'clock midnight. Midnight come around. I don't even go out. But guess what? I'm going out at midnight tonight, baby. Y'all ain't hold me down. He knows how they feel. He had a fire also. That's exactly what I was just saying, Gary. That was what the whole bit was about. Yep. Dude, Gary gets it. That was what the whole bit was about. You know, Biden wasn't pointing at this dog. He was pointing at a random tree and drooling under his mask. Ah, bro, that is hilarious, bro. After they're masked, they're crying. Geeks, I've been said that with these Somalis, right? With these Somalis. When they came on, I find it ironically funny that the Somalis are coming on, right? They're coming on and they're wearing masks, complaining about ICE wearing masks. As they're wearing a mask, do you not see the irony in that one? What? Pay attention to the press conferences. Remember when we were showing the Leering Center and they all got up and did their little speeches? They were wearing their masks because they didn't want their faces to be seen because they're criminals. It wasn't no damn like religious thing, you know, because they're damn criminals. That's why. But, you know, and they don't help their cause too, by the way. If you watch the protest, they don't help their cause by telling these people that they know who they are, where they live, who their kids are, who their family is. If you tell that to somebody, bro, what is that going to make you do, bro? How are you going to react to some soy telling you that they know about you, bro? Like, bro, any real damn American or any human being's going to feel some type of way, threatened some type of way, bro, for sure. Yeah, well, dude, you saw what they were saying yesterday, except for the people that don't wear it, because if you look, if you watch the Minnesota one, at the very beginning and all the way through, when they were action, you watch Columbus's, they weren't all wearing masks. Let's say there was 10 on the scene, 7 of them weren't wearing masks. They weren't even wearing them. There might have been like 3 out of every 10 wearing one. And the people that don't wear one, they clearly get it. FAFO. You want to come to my house, you'll see what happens. You'll end up like homegirl and what's it called? No, they weren't all wearing them. They weren't. And it was funny is a lot of the Mexican dudes proudly didn't wear those. And they stressed that they didn't have their mask on. I actually heard one of the ICE agents tell one of the protesters, why don't you take off your mask, bro? I don't have one on. Take yours off. That's what's that like, bro. It's not just one-sided. Y'all are one-sided on this thing. No. Nah. Take off yours too. It's so stupid that this is even a conversation. It's so stupid. That's why it's refreshing just to watch this. I just don't remember. The reason why I said that is this whole thing was like, yo, we just watched him sit down, talk about food, talk about the farms. It was all good. In a while, buddy. Yeah, there was a lot of butt kissing or whatever you want to call it. But it was like, it was at least peaceful. What did we get before that? I just don't remember. I'm not even being sarcastic. Like, what did we get? Did we get, like, I don't remember one press conference where he sat there for a good hour or two and answered questions. I don't remember. I really can't think of one. The one that I read, look, this is how sad that is. His corn pop interview was one of the most popular ones I can think of. That was years ago. I mean, he might have been vice president. I can't think of one interview that he did that was like, oh yeah, remember? I could go back and play all types of stuff. That's hilarious. Dude, now that dude, when he walked off the stage, when he would try to get off the helicopter and walk into the White House and he would miss the damn, they're literally standing there going, this way, this way, this way. And he just walks right past. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what I remember. That's all I remember. And I swear to you, I feel like they were just doing that to mock us. There's no way that they felt like that. Like when they ran him, like I felt, look, dude, almost bad for the guy. It's like elderly abuse at this point. When you send a dude out that's that gone, you're abusing the guy. You're abusing them. I like literally when he went out there and debated Trump, it was the most embarrassing thing I had ever seen in my life. Do you think that they sent him out there on purpose? I do. Oh yeah, and he kept calling her President Kamala too. He called her president all the time. He had always referred to her as the president. He always did. And he referred to Barack Obama too, like as his president. The dude was not a leader at all. And he said that, what's his name? Hunter was the smartest person that he's ever known. Did Trump swallow Bill? We need to know. I don't know, bro. Did he? What do you think? Are you smart enough to know? Are you smart enough to know? Probably not. Trump still hasn't stopped taxing overtime. Okay, let's see when that goes into place. You shut the F up, bro. Let's see when that goes into place, and then I'm going to get up out of here. When does taxation of overtime stop? It's already stopped, dude. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's already been going through since 2025. Why are people liars? Why are you a liar, bro? You come in here gaslighting everybody. You're a liar. You're what we call a stupid liar. 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 And if that person didn't deserve to get deleted, get him fix that shit for me, bro. You're a liar. I'm sorry. But let me show you something real fast. See, this is how we do things. You come in, you make comment, I fact check you, and I tell you how stupid you are. That's how it goes. I mean, literally. Here we are. Hold on, guys. Hold on. What does that say right there? No, this is not a permanent tax change. Under current law, the overtime deduction is available from 2025 through 2028 when he's president. That's how long the bills last. It went into effect July 14th for anybody that gave a to know. All right, you happy now? Are you happy? Does that float your boat? So you come in and you just spout off a lie, and then what do you got to say now? What do you got to say? Anything else? Because your complaint was denied. Literally, your complaint was denied, bro. Pathetic. It's sad. Y'all are pathetic. Can't even come up with real stuff to complain about. There's plenty of stuff in the world to complain about. You're gonna make stuff up. You're gonna make it up. That's pathetic, bro. It really is. Lame. Now tell me what happened when it's coming to it. Bro, I'm not talking about Iran right now, but I'll just say this, man. I hope the people get help. If you don't know, go back and watch my shows. I've probably done 10 hours worth of Iran stuff. I mean, it sounds like Trump's trying to help him, you know. It sounds like he is. I watched a press conference. Elon Musk and Hegseth, they're trying to get the Starlink with the Iranians and get them some internet so that they could, you know, at least have light or electric and all that stuff because they're in the middle of a blackout. But the Iranians have been shooting them down, been shooting it down. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens, but that's pretty much the gist of it. The Iranians they're being completely ran out. They're being persecuted. I hate to say it. I mean, in my opinion, from what the world stage shows us. Now, I'm not on the ground. I'm not there. I don't know what's going on because I'm not there. If I was there, I would have way more to stand on, but I wasn't there, so I can only give you my opinion. What they tell us, you know. Yeah, it was semi-successful. They kept knocking it down and stuff. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll figure it out. You know. Read. Now tell me what happened when it's come. Oh no, I already answered that question. I mean, I don't know how else to really say it. You know, somebody was in the chat yesterday and said, and look how nice he is to the protesters in Iran, but he treats these like he wanted to compare American protesters to Minnesota protesters or Iran. And it's like, yo, these people are protesting for their life and freedom. Literally. They're literally doing it for their likes or for their freedom. These people are doing it out of mental illness, straight up. Like, that's two different things, man. And I also find it hilarious that we're literally bringing in Muslim leaders by the day, and they're trying to get them out. As they're trying to get rid of them, we're bringing them in. Typical world stage stuff for you. Yeah, they're being paid to do it. Those people are risking their lives for to go out and try to get their family, you know, their country is taking advantage of them. That's how I see it. And I also believe that another country is too. You guys know what it is. They're not innocent in this. They're not innocent in all this. I understand that. I get it. You know, I do. American protesters are doing it for criminals. How much do they get paid? Did you guys see the clip where the police officer was like, or the reporter was like, "Don't you have a job? Like, what are you doing?" She's like, this is my job. This is my job. This is how I get paid. She like screamed it. Like that was out of anger. How you doing, Junior? Much love. And she like straight admitted it. It wasn't even like, oh, that's a conspiracy. No. He admitted, hey, everybody hit the like. We're 8 likes away from 69. Let's get it up to 70. Oh, what's up, Envy? How you doing, man? Yeah, let's get it up to 69 or 70 real fast. 69 would be funny. 70 would be my lucky number. 77 would really be my lucky number, but I don't know about 15 likes real fast. I don't feel like for that long. How you been doing, bro? Thank you, brother. Michelle? I thought it said Michael. Ironic. Thank you, Michelle. Much love. Much love. But yeah, so, you know, all that being said, I'm definitely taking a break tonight unless something real crazy comes on. If I went live again at all, it would be to like do a throwback. Maybe watch like the Clinton debate Trump, or like watch the corn pop interview or something. You know what I'm saying? I might come on and do something funny like that, but I'm not touching no more nothing. My brain needs to reset. It needs to reset for sure. This stuff can get to you after a while. It's a lot. It's a lot of to take in. We're getting hit from like 80 different angles. How does anybody decipher anymore what's good and what's bad? Like, seriously. How does anybody even, there's so much, so much coming at you that every day it's just like more and more and more. And it's just like you're getting lost in the news cycle. You know, you're getting lost in this news cycle of negativity. And what sucks is I'm trying to bring light to it all so we can come together. And what I see is just nothing but damn division. I thought maybe somebody in the middle who doesn't like zero sides could come in and try to bring everybody together and make sense of all this. But clearly what happens is I get pushed to defend a side because of one side being so extreme. I don't know what to say. That's not like, if anybody that knows me, like, all right, Clutch, for example. And exactly, it's all by design. And I know that. That's why I call it the world stage. That's why I always say, bro, we're going to crack. This is a spell. We're going to crack the spell. But Clutch, dude, you've been watching me since before I had my own channel, bro. I've always remained neutral, dude. I've always remained neutral. I always stood up for what was right, but I tried to remain neutral during all this. Always. I go, what is right and what is wrong? I don't like when they use the term bootlick or no. If I don't like what you're saying, I'm going to call you out. If I like what you're saying, I'm not going to let somebody disrespect the comment. That's just how it is. Whoever happened to the teabag party, bro, I don't know, man. I try to do the same, no side, but truth. Hey, that's how we all got to rock that, Clutch. That's how we all got to rock that. We got to be on the side of truth. And we got to be on the side of truth. Like, if you really do stand by somebody because of their name, man, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You're definitely doing it for the wrong reasons, dude. Like I would be lying and a horrible person if I were to tell you that I stood on everything. That would be crazy. And I don't think anybody here, the biggest Trump supporter, stands on everything. But we get put in that box that makes us like labeled as everything. Like, no. To be honest, if I had my choice, I would say leave me alone completely. We don't want none of y'all. Get them all gone. Get them all gone. Let me run things. Let Tim run things. I get it right. I promise you ain't gonna line my pockets. That's for sure. Hey, I'm with you, Envy. Yes. People are like, oh, no. There's enough to go around for everybody. There's something I don't like about every single person. Like, not like individually. I'm talking about every type of person. And there's something I like about every type of person. Does that mean I have to like everything about every person? You know? Like, come on, bro. It's crazy to say that. And that's where we're at this point. That's where we're at. It's like you can't You can't, you know, the fact that I sit here with y'all and people come in and say the craziest stuff, it just says it all. It's just like y'all don't even understand. Y'all don't get it at all. We're only 5 likes away from 70. We might actually hit it. Smash the like if you can. But yeah, man, I wish there was a way that we all could really chop it up and like, you know, like stand up against what's going on, because like what's gonna end up happening here is we're gonna be completely ixnayed from everything. like we're watching it happen right in front of us right now. We're watching it all unfold, and all we're doing is fighting with each other over an issue that is irrelevant to all of us. Hey, I can't wait for my impeachment trial, bro. It proves that every president's been impeached and not one of them left office. Think about it. Clinton was impeached. I don't think Bush was. Biden was impeached and Trump was impeached. So, I mean, 3 of the last, I don't think Obama was either. But still, 3 of the last 5 presidents were impeached. But who left the White House? None of them. None of them did. So ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. Only Trump. Oh yeah, only Nixon. Yeah. Nixon's the only one that really had to go. He couldn't get past it. What? Hey, to the because I know there's older cats that watch this. This isn't disrespect. This is just trying to get game. What was it like dealing with the Nixon situation? Was the politics stupid crazy back then? Is there anybody that's old enough that remembers the Nixon in here? I'm not asking you, bro. I know. I'm asking somebody's personal opinion. I'm asking somebody's does anybody have a personal opinion on what it was like? Like, was the politics stupid crazy back there? I am not a crook. I remember Watergate. I remember the hit. I know. But I didn't live back then. I didn't go to school back then. I didn't even exist. So, no, I don't know. Were people going crazy like they are right now? You know? I was born late 70s, so I only know of it. I hear you, Clutch. I'm just trying to figure it out. I can't imagine what it was like. All the hippie, dude, you're telling me. That's why I'm asking. People think I'm being sarcastic. I'm really not. And like a history book, that was you know what? I gotta get at you for the history book. That was one of the dumber comments because look, bro, history books are lies. I'm sorry. But it's not even the truth. History books are trash, dude. So to tell me to open up a history book when it's just his story telling me their story when I'm asking a personal account, that's 2 different things, bro. Every single book is somebody's personal account. Every book. I don't care if you're a historian. Then you should know better. The history is written by the victor, always. You're never going to get it. Do you think we're going to get the truth of what happened in 2020 and up? No. You think we'll really know the truth about half the stuff that's happened in life? No. Because the victor always writes the damn history. So that just, your historian stuff, I get it. So Miss Historian should understand what specifically was the temperature of the political temperature of the whatever, what was it? Early 70s, mid 70s? A history book has multiple sources of people's opinions. Literally, that's what a book is. The only thing that's not opinion is stats, math, Everything else is an opinion. Math is an equation. Everything else is an opinion. I don't give a damn what you tell me. What book? The Bible, the biggest book in the world. It's still an opinion. It's still written through other people's eyes. Now go to your math book. Go do some algebra. That's the only thing you can prove physically. Come on, guys. You know what? You're just annoying. I don't know why you're even in here still. Get out of here. Why are you still here? Your comments make no sense. You're stupid. I feel like Trump. Get out of here, Miss Piggy. You're stupid, Miss Piggy. Get up out of here. Now cry about it. I love trolling. Oh, no, trolling's fun, but you're going to get trolled back. It's my channel. You're talking to the biggest troll of them all. You're lucky I'm on YouTube. I'll roast every single one of y'all. I'll flame y'all. One by one, down the line. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, I will, bro. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'm trolling you right now. I'm trolling you right now, dude. I already am. I already am, bro. And I love trolling, so I'm not gonna hate. I'm just telling you, you ain't gonna out troll me. You can't troll a troll. You can't troll the troll. You might be able to get it off on Ryan, but you ain't getting it off on me, bro. No, 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 no. No, you can't. Sorry, bro. Sorry, son. Sorry, son. I might take you to school one day. If you need, hey, bro, look, if you need lessons, meet me on Discord. I got you, son. I got you. I know you're not my bro. Meet me on Discord, bro. I'll roast you, bro. I'm not doing it on here. I'm not stupid. Go back and watch some of my old videos. See what I would have said to you. See what I would have said to you, bro. And you aren't my bro. You're my sis. Yeah, little sis. You right, little sissy. Little sis, little girl. Mama. Definitely boosted up. Go get your booster. You good. Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear you, dog. I hear you, dog. Little crybaby, little crybabies. Wah. Ryan said, you ain't getting over on Ryan either, because Ryan had to deal with the top troll for the last ever. Poor Ryan knows how to troll better than all y'all too. He just doesn't do it, but he learned from the best. He learned from the damn best. Nah, I'm not broing down nothing. I ain't broing down a damn thing. I ain't broing down for nobody. I said, oh, look, we're at 69. That's kind of cool. All right, since we made it to 69, let's get to 77. Ah! Hey, bro, you're trying with well. Jay have that. Yeah, okay. Mine says 70. What says 70? Oh, yours says 70. Oh, okay. Mine says 69. YouTube, their analytics is crazy, bro. It'll be like, yeah. And if I'm using the word bro, like, it's because I'm super tired and I'm super I just hit some something nice. I'm just a little tired, bro. I honestly didn't want to wasn't even gonna come on. But yeah, PC Principles is great. I was just watching I was just watching the new season like 2 days ago. Ryan and I were watching it. when he takes Jesus out to eat. He beats up Jesus and stuff. Asked him if he was like straight. Like what? I thought one of the funniest parts of South Park out of these new seasons, one is Trump. Dude, what they did with Trump and what they did with JD Vance on that show is just crazy funny, first off, and the devil. And second, when they did the ICE episode with Katie Nome, but they had her, they literally went into heaven and were getting all the illegals out of heaven. Like you can't make that up. You can't make that up. They literally went to heaven and said, "We're getting y'all." I was dying. Who watched it? Who's watched these new South Parks? Yeah, that one with Charlie Kirk and Cartman, dude, with the J's. It was crazy because that came out right before Charlie, you know. And I literally feel like that episode, if you could put my mental into a cartoon, that was my cartoon. That was mine, dude, because I always felt like, man, I've been on this F to J, I've been on this anti-woke thing for a really long time. And then all of a sudden, now everybody's doing it. And it's like, wow, everything I was saying wasn't even that, it's not even like, yeah, man, R.I.P. Charlie. I really didn't listen to him like that, but I definitely have respect for him because a lot of y'all really cared about him. So he is a human being. I don't have nothing bad to say about him. I just didn't really pay attention to all that. Honestly, I didn't. I don't like Ben Shapiro. I didn't like Charlie Kirk. I think Fuentes is funny, but I think he's corny because he's doing the same act that we did like 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? We already did that, bro. You're not new with this. You're not the first one to go out and say crazy stuff. Like, bro, we all did that. That's what I started doing. Was just coming online and acting as if though it didn't matter. Saying things. I would wear a MAGA hat, not even like MAGA. I put a NASA hat on. I don't believe in NASA. I come on to troll y'all. Y'all don't even know. My people that F with me know. But if you see me with a NASA hat on, you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. Hey, I'm not being serious. Hey, that's troll time. That's troll time. My NASA hat. I was flabbergasted in the What's up, Rat? What is that? Ratty Randall. He wasn't a bad person. That's all it was. Yeah, it seemed like he wasn't. I mean, he spoke morale, like good morale. Like when I watched his stuff, it wasn't cringy to me. It just wasn't my thing. Like, it just wasn't my thing. Now going back and Ryan makes, what's up, Puppet Master? I haven't seen you forever, G. What's good with you, bro? Where you been? Act like you don't know me, bro. Where you been? Oh, I hope you're okay, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're all right, brother. You're in my prayers, for sure. What's up, Whiskey? How you doing, brother? Or sis? I don't know which one. I just assumed brother because it's like whiskey in big letters. But I should never assume anymore. So, what's up, yo? What's good with you? What's today? Today's like what, Wednesday, hump day or something? I don't even know what today is. I got to smoke, so I'm okay. Good. Is that even what time is it? It's way past 4:20. It's smoke time. I'll blaze with y'all. I got like 10 minutes till I'm gonna bounce up out of here, I think. So I just wanted to chop it up with y'all. Like, dude, I don't mind sitting here and BSing with you guys at all. Like, honestly, I have fun doing it, to be honest. Yeah, it's always 420. Actually, as a matter of fact, no. I was gonna say it might be on the West Coast, considering I'm always on West Coast time. Reed, where you at, bro? Pack something up, roll something up. Ryan, pack something up, roll something up. Anybody else? Get yourself together. I'll try to find something for us to laugh to, and I'll just BS with y'all. I'll try to find something funny to watch for us to laugh to end it, but I don't know. I don't know what there is right now. You know what we could watch? We could watch the Joe Biden. We could watch the Joe Biden corn pop interview if you guys want. Or do I just end it? Ryan, executive decision here, buddy. Let me see. Let me see if how long it is. Because that corn pop was a bad man. You know that, right? Let's see. Yeah, I got it. Let's go. Oh yeah, we can watch it. It's only 15 minutes. Let's do it. Let's smoke. Everybody get and let's watch the only press conference that I could literally remember of your guys' favorite president, Mr. Joe. Hi, Hannah. How are you doing? Now tell me what happened when it's coming to Iranian people. I already did that. I'm so far behind in comments. I'm like, yo, I already said that. What do you want from me? Sorry. Like, what do you want from me? I already said that. What the hell? All right. You see how many people dipped out the second you mentioned it? Like, yeah, we don't want to do that. All right, let's go. Dude,
Thank you. Can I, before we start, hey, all the kids, you want to come up here and listen? Come on up here. Come up behind me. Because I'm not holding up between them and the pool, man. Come on. My name's Joe Biden, Vice President Biden. Everybody come on up and stand with me.
Exactly, Turbo. Exactly.
Okay, look, folks, I want to set the record straight in a couple things. I'll wait till everybody gets up here. Hi. You're on television, so be good. Okay? You are, yeah. See the television camera?
Hi, Mommy. That's it.
All right. Can everybody be quiet for just a minute? You're on TV, so you got to be quiet a little bit. Folks, look, I've received, because of the people of the state of Delaware, I've received an awful lot of wonderful honors all my career. The greatest honor was serving you for so long. But this does mean more to me than anything that's happened. My daughter Ashley's with me. My daughter Ashley got her first job down here at Kingswood out of school. She's a social worker. Bo is associated here. Anyway, the point I want to make is I owe you all. I owe this neighborhood. I learned so much. I was a kid from suburbia. I lived out in Mayfield in a split level home with my grandpop living with us and in a 3-bedroom home with 4 kids, my grandpop. And folks, when it's a whole 100 years ago, but I was a senior in high school, and Przicki turned out to be a great athlete at the University of Delaware, but I was runner-up the state scoring championship here in football. I wasn't bad either. And but I wanted to get more involved. And I realized I lived in a neighborhood where I'd turn on the television and I'd see and listen to Dr. King and others. But I didn't know any black people. No, I really didn't. You didn't know any white people either. That's the truth. So I wanted to work here. And there's my daughter, Ashley. Come on up here, Ash. And so what I did was I came down and I applied to the city of Wilmington for a job. And I was the only white employee here. And I learned so much. I learned that folks that I work with, like Spencer Henry and Lafayette Jackson,
I was
and a
on
whole
mute.
range of people, Jamie Rolls, a lot of great people were my fellow lifeguards. There were 13 of us. I learned that they treated me.
Why you say they? You're saying they like they. But first off, you just told a whole entire group of black people that they ain't never seen a white people before, and that's truth. That is, how do you know that's truth? You're telling me that this girl right here doesn't have a white cousin or sister's mom? Come on, bro. Everybody's got black and white people in their family. At least I think
As
so.
an equal. We used to go in what was not as modern as that. We used to go in the key room at lunchtime after a free swim and sit on the floor because it was nice and cool. And remember Boom Boom Cannon and a few other guys that worked here as well. And we sit there and we talk, and they'd ask me questions because I really was the only white guy they really knew.
Home Depot hates when you do this, but they can't stop you. So you really want to just coat the whole.
And they'd ask me questions about everything. I mean, things that just startled me. I remember one time, I won't mention which lifeguard, said, "Do I have a jerry can, a 5-gallon can for gasoline?" And I said, "No, I don't." I said, "But what do you need it for?" He said, we're going down to see my grandmama in North Carolina. We can't stop at most gas stations. They won't let us stop at most gas stations. I learned a lot. And I learned that it makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and there was a 3-meter board. If you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you."
He said, "Hey, Esther." Corn Pop had what? He said a bathing cap on, bro. This is killing me. This is so cracker white, bro.
Off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off. Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Come down."
He said, I went to the only white guy there and said, "What am I going to do, Bill? Bill the mechanic. I'm the only white guy here." And Corn Pop going, "He's a bad man. What do I do?"
Down here in the basement where mechanics, where all the pool filter is. You know, the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, you walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, you may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.
Wow. He's talking about literally. So the white guy's like, look, bro, this is what you do. You go grab these chains, you know, because apparently, you know, he's talking to a bunch of black people who he does say has been chained down at the end of the speech. I think there's some resemblance, like, you know, you're going to bring a chain out and fight everybody with the chain with their straight knives. What is this, like some 70s, like LA Mexican story?
I said, you kidding me? He said, no, if you don't come back. And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again. But I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, you apologize to me? I said, I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said. He said, okay, close the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again. I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw that made me aware when I was in law school. Proudly for Holloway. Proudly for your dad. First African-American state senator in the state of Delaware. Everything about. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub.
This is very effed up. This is disgusting. Let's hear this part. You guys pay attention if you don't remember. This part's effed up. Little roaches and them talking about playing with his hair. Like what?
Everything about.
I'm sure all the little black kids were just like going out of their way to play with your white leg hairs, bro. That is the craziest story I've ever heard. Get ready. Sorry.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
You heard him. You heard what he just said, bro. Whoa. Whoa. What do you like, bro?
And rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
You like Joe?
They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what, the men, they're now all men, the guys I work with down here, and they're all guys at the time. They're all good men. Most of them made an awful lot of themselves. And Earl Larkin had a rough time. And some of you knew Earl. I came back as a public defender. I came back to Delaware and I got a fancy job with the oldest law firm in the state. But the city was burning. It was burning down here. And I couldn't do it. So I quit and became a public defender. And the first trial I had, I walked into court as a public defender with another guy named Eddie Sobosinski, a defender. I'd only been admitted to the bar 1 week. And Earl Larkin was in chains around his ankles and on his wrist, and they were chained together, so on a belt. And he said, who's going to try the Larkin case? I just got started. And he was aptly named. His name was Judge Stiftel. And he said, Sobosinski said, well, that's my colleague. He just joined the public defender's office. He said, will you, in fact, defend him? So she turned to Larkin and said, he'll defend you. I said, whoa, Your Honor. I know nothing about the case. He said, I'll give you it till tomorrow, but you draw the jury today. And he looked at Larkin. He said, you mind if he represents you? And I'll never forget what he said. I learned a lot. He said, and I mean it sincerely. He looked at me and he said, one hunky's just as bad as any other. I'll take whoever you send me. And here's what I want to tell you about Earl.
What did he just say? What did he just say? Did he say one honky is no worse than the other? Did he just say that? If I'm not mistaken, did he just say
about
that?
the case. He said, I'll give you it till tomorrow, but you draw the jury today. And he looked at Larkin and he said, you mind if he represents you? And I'll never forget what he said. I learned a lot. He said, and I mean it sincerely. He looked at me and he said, one hunky's just as bad as any other. I'll take whoever you send me.
He did say that, bro. He's got no shame in his game, dude. Y'all want to say Trumpy talking crazy. Sheesh.
And here's what I want to tell you about Earl. Here's what I want to tell you about the neighborhood and the heart.
Hey, it's Adam with Vanish.
Earl, hit the like, y'all. Come on.
All right, so what you've just seen right
Hit the
I
like.
defended him. He got beat up right on the other side of the field here. He walked along the tracks. He was a sailor in a sailor's uniform, the guy who he beat up and robbed. And so I thought he was innocent. I kept the jury out 5 hours, but they convicted him. And I felt so bad. So I go down to the old prison all the time. They had little wooden tables and two little chairs in a big dome you'd sit under where you'd be interviewed. And I was sitting there, Councilwoman, and the third time saying, I'm appealing this case. And finally he took the table, he flipped it up, and he said, jumped up, and the guards came and grabbed him. He said, don't you understand, Joe? I did it. I did it. But here's the point. He cared about me. This is a man who saw me bleeding because I saw this guy going to jail and I thought he was innocent. There's character, even in great problems.
Doesn't even make sense what he just said, bro. It just doesn't.
There's so much character in this neighborhood.
It doesn't. He made no sense.
There was so much character back then, too. So many people didn't get a shot. So many people didn't get a shot who could be standing right where Lisa's standing today a lot earlier, could be standing where I'm standing today. Let me end by saying, I was a pretty darn good lifeguard. Yeah, man. I taught swimming, too.
Damn good lifeguard. So good that you had to go fight Corn Pop because he jumped off the diving board the wrong way or something. Yeah, damn good.
And I remember going over, we used to play the other pools, and we played basketball at lunchtime. Remember? Went over to Riverside, we played. And someone on the other team threw the ball to me by accident. And they looked at me and said, oh, God, I thought you were on my team. I'm thinking, I'm the only white boy within 20 miles. Remember, I'd get invited down to Baby Grand. I walk in and say, who's this guy? And they say, he's ours. He's ours. You've always had my back. The neighborhood's always had my back. And God willing, I've always had your back. And I'll always have it as long as I'm around. I love you. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. And if I were still a lifeguard, I'd say, time to get in the pool. Thanks, everybody. And Councilwoman, thank you so, so much for this honor. Thank you. How you guys doing? Who here is going to be president someday? Raise your hand. All right. I'll tell you one more story on their way out. You know what? There was a guy, when I first started.
Check this story out before I go. This is what he says here. He's talking, now mind you, he's talking to a group of young Black Americans, right? And look what he had to remind them on his way out. Just look what he reminds them.
Black folks weren't even allowed to vote very much, very easily.
You heard that, right? Look.
How you guys doing? Who here is going to be president someday? Raise your hand. All right. I'll tell you one more story on their way out. You know what? There was a guy, when I first started, Black folks weren't even allowed to vote very much, very easily. That's how long ago it was. And guess what I got to do?
You had to remind him. You just had to remind him. That's how old you were, bro. That's disgusting that you were even in the White House.
8 years ago, I got to be in the Wilmington train station, looking over the 3rd Street Bridge that had been burned to the ground, most of it, thinking nothing was ever going to get any better 40 years ago. Waiting for a black man to pick me up, to take me 124 miles to be sworn in as president and vice president of the United States. That's progress. We can make more. God love you all.
I mean, dude, that was just a little comedic relief. We need it, man. We need a little comedic relief sometimes in this temperature right now that we're in, politically, and with everything that we've had to hear and talk about. I needed a good little laugh. I just wanted to remind everybody who comes in here every day and hates and hates and hates and doesn't remember what we just went through. And I'm not trying to compare the two. All I'm trying to say is I'm pretty sure the majority of the country, I think it was like 80% of the country, was over that. That's why Trump is president. That's why we voted for him, because of stuff like that. That was hard to watch, dude. That was hard to watch. And there's more, dude. There's so much more. Dude, his debates, all of them. Him talking about you ain't, when he was on the, what was it? He was on the, come on, help me out. You ain't black. I read it in the chat. It was on the radio station. You know, the hot whatever 97 or something, right? He says, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. Like, really? Could you imagine if Trump said that to the black people? If you go out and you vote for Biden, you ain't black. You're not black. Do you understand what would happen there, though? That's what I'm wondering, Turbo. I'm wondering. I said that. I said that for years. I go, is he just trolling us? I thought it was the handlers and the world stage people just trolling us. Literally. I think that 4 years was just us getting trolled. Like, seriously. Yeah, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Like, and then you had Hillary Clinton carrying around the hot sauce on the same interview, the same people. You had Hillary Clinton carrying around hot sauce, and they go, what's something that you always carry around? And she's got that black accent. And she said, oh, I always got hot sauce in my purse. Like, what? What? The same woman that was calling black people super predators? Remember that back in the 90s? Yeah, the term super predator. Where did that come from? Oh, the Democrats. That's right. It was the Democrats. It was the Clintons. Super predator. Remember that? Yeah. I remember her story. If I was walking down the street and I saw a bunch of people with hoods on, I would cross the street because I don't want to go down the street with super predators. Who remembers that? Do y'all remember it? Because that was super cringy. Even back in the day when I was young. Bro, she was always cringy. Now all of a sudden she's this lovey-dovey, I'm a damn, let's all stand together. You weren't like that in the 90s, and you definitely weren't like that in the 80s. You definitely weren't like that in the 80s. So she's a joke. That's a whole nother one. She's a joke. And that's the last like puzzle piece to this whole thing. Is, Trump would have never been in the White House if it wasn't for her. If it wasn't for Obama and her, and if it wasn't for this guy we just watched. You can't blame us for being entertained by somebody that actually has some sort of wits to them. We've watched low vibrational IQ stuff for a very long time now, starting with Joe Biden's dog, Commander. That says it all. His stupid dog says it all. Your dog is only as smart as you are, and your dog was so stupid that it bit the Secret Service 24 times and they were scared to come to work. We were scared to watch TV and watch your press conferences because we didn't know what we were going to hear. And it was not even bad. It was like, is he going to fall off the stage? Is he going to keel over? That's what we were worried about. Everybody now, we were worried about, is he even going to make it through his speech? Is he going to make it to the speech? I mean, man, talk about PTSD, wondering when he was going to fall over. Goodness gracious. I can't believe it. Kamala's talking black. Yeah, that was super. Hey, Sky. Kamala talking black, talking about smoking blunts, listening to Tupac. Come on, bro. You weren't, when you were in college, Tupac didn't exist, Kamala. When you told that story, did you not think of the timeline? Tupac was never even he wasn't even an artist yet when you were in college. So how were you smoking blunts with listening to Tupac if he didn't even exist yet? That's your little pandering to your little communities. Lies, lies, lies. It's what we hear every day, right, Clutch? Right, Turbo? Right, Ryan? It's what we read every day. Lies, 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 lies. Everything's a lie. I think everything's been a lie for a really long time. Personally. I think everybody just forgot because the TDS got so strong that y'all forgot what we had to deal with. This is our time to shine. The liberal tears, yeah, that's why we want. Look, whether you like Trump or not, we still want to see the liberal tears. Because y'all ran with this dude and supported him. And he was a joke to the country. Embarrassing, really embarrassing. And his dog, his dog was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Kami the dog. I can't take it. I can't take it. And then they named the football team after him. Then they freaking named the Washington Redskins after the dang dog. That's crazy. I'll never root for them. Ever. Ever. I can't stand Commanders. Can't stand commies, and I can't stand the dog Commander. I will never root for the Commanders. Ever. I have literally never had an animal that bit others. Dude. Hey, don't ask. I'm telling you. Hey, man, a dude that can't raise a dog should never run a country. I'm just saying. Your kids are all crackheads. And you got a dog that bites everybody. I think that tells how stable you are as a human being. What? I'm just going to go ahead and make the comparison real fast. And go ahead and look at Donald Trump Jr. Go ahead and look at Eric. Go look at Ivanka. They're all, look at Barron. They're healthy. They don't talk crazy. There's nothing bad you can say about them at all. I like Donald Trump Jr. better than Donald Trump Sr. You can't say nothing about them like that. You can't. You can't. Like, where's Trump got a dog biting everybody? I mean, dude, if Trump had a dog that was biting the damn Secret Service, y'all would be crying in my chat right now. That's all we would hear. We would hear it. That's all we would hear is Kami, the Commander. If I get a dog, I'm going to name it Corn Pop. Nice, dude. Oh, I almost said something. Every time you're yelling at it, bro, you better be nice. You better be nice. Don't do them like Joe did, bro. We ain't on that. I just felt like that was really weird that he reminded him. Like, see, I like to like pick apart what people say. Like I'm gonna start doing like reactions and uploading them. And I love taking even like a 5-minute video. I could make it like 30 minutes, dude. You can pick something. You can really dissect something. And I've dissected that video before. And I'm telling you right now, man, when you hear him, man, he's talking down to him the whole entire time. And at the very end, he literally has to remind them that they couldn't vote at one point. These are kids. Why is that even necessary? The way he said it wasn't clever. It wasn't inspiring. It was just straight blatantly you couldn't vote. He kept calling them them and they and y'all. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't think it aligns with any of the stuff that you guys are crying about. It just doesn't. Long life. Wow. My Stratford. Oh, I'm sorry. My buddy just, hey, look, my kitty was 20 in some change, possibly 21. He just passed right before New Year's. So I'm sorry, I understand it sucks. It was last year. Dude, I'm like 10 days into it. That's why y'all been seeing me streaming so much. I don't know what to do with myself at the moment. I'm literally, I literally don't know what to do with myself. Yeah. I'm finally able to talk about it though. I never mentioned it. You know, he was a star on this show forever. And I just left it out because I didn't want to hear it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to hear it. So, and thank you, through Jack's camera. You know. But he's been with me, man. Since he left, we've been on a run. It's like he's been here anyways, bro. We've been on a nice little run here. So, you know, he lived a beautiful life. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I went to the Amish country and I bought him whole chickens his whole life, or most of his life. At least the last 10 years of his life, that dude ate better than human beings. He lived a beautiful, great life. So, you know, we were very, very close. And it's crazy, and I'll leave it at that. I don't want to talk about it too much. I get all like, but he's in every one of my videos. So if you start watching my old stuff, he's in every one of my videos. Everyone. Every single one, you can hear him. You can hear him talk, like the whole I pick him up, everybody asks. It used to be a thing, man. People would pop in and say, how's Marley doing? How's Marley doing? How's Marley doing? You know, that used to be a thing. Like he was our mascot. So, you know, now I was just sitting there and one of my videos just came up in the thing and it was an old one. And it must have been one I really liked because it was like halfway through. Thank you, Daisy. Much love. Appreciate it. And I'm sitting there talking to chat like I'm talking to you, and I'm eating a piece of pizza, and I could hear, and like I wasn't paying attention. I could just hear it. I could hear my cat talking in the background, and mind you, he's not even 10 days gone, y'all. And I could hear him like everything he said. I could hear him, bro. Like that, like literally, I like the way he was breathing. I knew what that meant. The way he was talking, I knew what it meant, and it like blew my mind, bro. It was a really weird experience, you know. Like he was talking, like I know exactly what he was saying in it. So, you know, I left it at that. I wasn't prepared. I'm still not ready to like go watch video of him and stuff. I'm still not ready for all that yet. No. You can't forget. You can't forget them. He'll never be forgotten. I had him my whole life. Literally, I don't remember. I never have been an adult without him. So, oh, that's cool. I'm glad you found me. I'm glad you found me. Yeah, man. So I just basically been just grinding, Yeah, I was very close to him. I was very close to him. Absolutely. When you do streaming and you're by yourself a lot, that's who sat right next to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you based, especially because if anybody's taking care of an elderly person, you know that like towards the end, you got to really take care of them. You really got to you got to do a lot. So you get real close. And we always were, but at the end you just get real close. I would take him outside and he would never leave. Dude, I would shoot the last yeah, like a baby. Exactly. They come in and they leave like they came in. I literally. But yeah, I used to take him for walks around here over the summer and he would just walk next to me like a dog, never ran away, never nothing. People just were like, dang, you know? And if he would get ahead of me and I would be behind him because I'd be filming him on Discord, everybody be watching him. And yeah, he would just look back like, come on, bro, hurry up. Like, hurry up, let's go. He would never get out of my sight. Trusted, love your animals, everybody. Love your animals. I'll probably leave it at that, to be honest. We gotta love our animals, and we all gotta love each other too. And I don't know, is it just me? But is it harder to deal with an animal's like a close like animal you've had for 20 years than it is for some humans? Is that weird? Am I bad for that? For real. I was doing neighborhood watch with Dutch for years. Yeah, man, you form that bond. You form that bond, Daisy. And he got and I'll just end it with this as far as he goes. He got me when I was growing up too. I was a kid. I was 21 when I got him or something like that. So he grew up with me. So my first time moving from Cleveland to Columbus. So like he literally was raised the way I was raised, like the way I grew up. Now I'm a chill dude. He was chill. So like if I could go get another cat, it'll never be the same. And people say, oh, you'll get the same bond. I get it, but it just won't be the same, if you know what I'm saying. So I am normal. Thank you, man. Because I feel like, am I wrong? Am I wrong that I cried more for my cat than I did when my grandma passed? And it wasn't because my grandma passed. It was because I was happy that she was able to move on. It wasn't because I wasn't sad. It was I just didn't want to see her struggle anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. That's all. I'm good. I'm good, y'all. I'm good. But that being said, woof. Went from corn pop to that. I'm sorry, guys. I just took y'all through my little drama dump. I didn't mean to do that, to be honest. I was just telling y'all a story. I want a dog because I feel so lonely and lost, but my heart belongs to Dutch. I feel you. And that's life, man. And that's how I feel right now. But hopefully, hopefully you'll get to that point where you'll get a dog. Because if you're a good dog owner, then they deserve to have a good parent. So I'm just not ready. I want to go visit Ryan and my friends. and do some things that I couldn't do because I had an elderly cat I was taking care of for the past few years. So I've been out with my family a lot more and been able to do a lot more things that I was, not able to do. So, but that being said, everybody, I love y'all. Thanks for coming through. It was nice meeting a lot of you new people in here. I hope you guys come back through or whatever. Other than that, I hope you have a beautiful night, day, whatever y'all do, wherever you're at in this world. And God bless y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Peace out, y'all. It was good. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to pull up this screensaver real fast, and then I'm getting out of here. I don't know why I did it, but I want this to be my thumbnail, not my ugly face. Since it was about Trump, we'll put this up because this is what it was at the beginning. Peace out, y'all. Much love. God bless. I'm out.